So they started trying to ship them out early. And I mean, that was part of how we got Liberia, modern day Liberia, which that's something, you know, maybe we can talk about that some other time, but that is it's an interesting history of that nation, because the former American blacks that went there, they went there and they subjugated the indigenous people, the indigenous Africans. They went there and they treated them just like they were being treated in America. They're like, oh, we're better than you guys because we came from America. Yes. We have Christian values. And it's like, it's the same thing as like, I heard this story of who it was a man who was in a concentration camp, and his it's Mouse. It's from Mouse.
It's the day that you were born. It's the day your mama brought you home. It's a special day. Let us celebrate. Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm gonna celebrate with you. Time to celebrate. Tell everybody. Come on, y'all. Come on and celebrate on your birthday. Come on, y'all. Hey. And many more.
Ladies and gentlemen, when the Republican Party of Georgia moved Herschel Walker from Texas to Georgia so that he could run for Senate, it's because change was taking too fast in the post-antebellum South. The state had been flipped blue, and there are some principalities that were not prepared for a black man and a Jewish man to go to Senate at the exact same time. So they figured that they would delude us by picking somebody who they thought would in fact represent us better with a football than with a degree in philosophy. They thought we were so slow, that we were so stupid, that we would elect the lowest caricature of a stereotypical broken black man as opposed to somebody who is educated and erudite and focused. Y'all ain't ready for me today. Since Herschel Walker was 16 years old, white men been telling him what to do, telling him what school to go to, where to live, where to eat, where to buy a house, where to run, where to sit down, where to sleep, where to pay for abortions, where to buy a gun. And you think they not gonna tell him how to vote? In 2022, we don't need a walker, we need a runner. We need somebody who gonna run and tell the truth about January 6th. We need somebody who gonna run and push for the cancellation of student loan debts. We need somebody who gonna run and make the former president respond to a subpoena. We don't need a walker, we need somebody who will be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, knowing that your labor is not in vain. Georgia, I need you to know the slave Negroes y'all are used to don't live here no more. We can think for ourselves, function for ourselves, and vote for ourselves. Why? Because we don't need
someday at Christmas, men won't be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no war when we have learned what Christmas is for. When we have found what life's
Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all that children call that favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air. Carols everywhere. Oh, holding times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. 1, 2, 3. Hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the trees, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. La 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 la. Oh, presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town, yes they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Oh, for me. Oh, yeah. On this Christmas, la 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 la. So you stood there on the corner with your suitcase in your hand, ready to quit this place. There were just too many people with too little left to lose. You were just one more face, but you were not born to give up easy. You were not raised to just lie down. And you saw the sun that rises up for more, over and over. And you watched the waves that wear away the shore, over and over again. And if there's any justice in this world, you've gotta keep fighting on, over and over. Oh yeah. They say God always forgives us, but can we forgive ourselves if we let our hope die? 'Cause the passion is a weakness, and the silence is a strength. Who's gonna hear our cry? So we've gotta climb the highest mountain. We've gotta shout for all to hear. See the sun that rises up for more, over and over and over. And we'll feel the waves that wear away the shore, over and over and
They say life is what you make it. But I'm a legend in the making. I know
just what I'm made of. They say life is what you make it, yeah. Well, I'm a legend in the making, yeah. I know just what I'm made of, yeah, yeah. They say life is what you make it. Well, I'm a legend in the making. I know just what I'm made of. They say life is what you make it, yeah. Well, I'm a legend in the making, yeah. I know just what I'm made of, yeah, yeah. They say life is what you make it. Well, I'm a legend in the making. I know just what I'm made of. They say life is what you make it, yeah. Well, I'm a legend in the making, yeah.
This NDA.
And we are in the building. Guys, I'm so glad we was not in the building when I said what I said.
Ooh, yeah.
Quan got choked because he knows that was some choking stuff right there. That's some stuff that would make you choke. That's how much fun we have. But you know, Margaret all back there trying to get a little sing on.
Oh, God.
Ma, did you have to? Yeah. Y'all feel us, don't you? Because if you don't feel us, hold on. We coming. Hold on, you will. Because we on the way. Guys, it is a beautiful day. And I want to take a moment. I always take a minute. So give me 1 second. Let's see what we got going on. Guys, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It really is. It's cold outside, but that's okay. Because if I can see you and you can see me, we got half the battle won because we live to fight another day. And it's right. See how they nod at the church say amen.
Amen.
And another reason we saying amen. When we left y'all last Friday, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we were going to have the Senate, what was going to go on with the House. We had no clue, but we were hopeful, and we did. We have control of the Senate regardless. But Georgia, that's why I played the guy speaking again about us needing a runner, not a walker. Don't let this fool you. We need that extra seat. Now, we don't have control of the House, but I love the fact that it is not in double digits. Kevin McCarthy already out there like this, Ross. I need your vote. I need your vote. I want to be Speaker of the House. The hell you say? The hell you say? We had enough for 44 and a half. I already know that's not going to happen. Y'all give him hell. That's what I want y'all to do in that House. Give him hell. Give it to him. Give it to him. 44 and a half, and now he gonna run again for president. Guys, I don't know what to say about that one, because you know, to be honest with you, him running for president again, that's like Kanye saying, let me say it one more time. Y'all didn't hear me the first time. Let me say it one more time.
By the way, did you hear the little Twitter feed? If Trump gets in office, they're like, all right, he's gonna cut the check.
If he get in office, he gonna cut democracy, because God, that democracy is good right there. I mean, no, am I wrong, Ross? Nothing else need to be done. You go commit all them crimes he done committed. If they put him back in office, I will move to another country. I will certainly do it. I will lay it down and say, I love you, but I got to go. Because y'all crazy, and I can't stay no longer. And it's not a makeup thing. It is not a makeup thing. I will move this company so fast to get it where I wanted to go and get the hell out of here.
Let's go Canada.
Yes, do you feel me? Because I feel like Liz Cheney. She said he will never, ever be president again. He don't even want to himself, trust me. He just don't want to be prosecuted. And I got to do something, and I want to see if Ross and Quan really know who I'm mimicking. There's a young woman that was in office, and she was our Speaker of the House. Lovely lady. I always loved her. She's still going to be part of the House of Representatives, but she stepped down, and she's no longer wanting to lead. And I understand. She almost lost her husband. She's older. She's giving us everything she has to give, and she's right. It's the next generation's time, but she will be there to help. That's our job. We should be there to advise. It's time to let the young generation take over. But in honor of this beautiful lady.
Damn right, Nancy.
Anybody remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was Nancy Pelosi when Trump had his first speech and his first address, and she tore that up right in front of him on live camera. Now, if we had just tore up the ballots, we might not have went through everything we went through. You know. But the best part about this is democracy right now is what it should be. It's not perfect. It is certainly a labor of work that needs to be still worked on, sadly. But our young generation and we all see that if we fight, we have a chance. There's still some work to do, because you got to remember something. A lot of those elections was lost because of redistricting. Come on with me, Rob.
Yes.
Especially for New York.
There's some gerrymandering going on too.
Oh yes, without a doubt. So all of those things, other things. And Atlanta, be advised now, the reason your election is so fast is because they didn't want anybody to have to, could vote, do this. They want everything. They get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on them. Get in there, because see, this is chess, guys. Don't check us. It's not a hard thing. This ain't rocket science. It's not. We want to make it that. We've been playing this game. Our great grandparents was playing this game. They left a roadmap. We have more tools now.
Mm-hmm.
We have the benefit of change. A lot of more of the young generation don't feel this way.
And the enemy's exposing themselves even more.
They ain't just exposing. They are like a strip on the pole. They out there. You already know what you're gonna get when you walk in there. See, you know what you're going for.
They try and get them ones.
Yeah, they want to make it rain, not drizzle.
Cheeks clapping.
I knew he was gonna go further. All I had to do was throw that damn line out and just wait. Just wait. But if it'll help, it's like, remember when what was that they did to add Quan? No. I got $500 at Quan. No. It was an ad they did that was to reach the young people just recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of alley.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people oh my God. And it was the girl saying something about, where was it, Quan? The woman was saying something about you ain't getting out of doing something if you don't vote, but it was just alley. But they said whatever make them go vote.
Oh yeah. You're talking about goodness.
Quan, no.
I know.
Guys,
I'm just trying to remember the name.
While Quan figured this out, let me do this. I don't always never want to forget my team. Guys, we are here in the building. This is I'm Just Saying. I am the host, Dionne Johnson. I have my lovely co-host with me. We get excited because we try to get this party started right. I don't even know if we do the show for y'all anymore, because we have so much fun with each other. Oh, above we have my beautiful co-host, Marianne Cooper VanderVeen. And I call her Mari. Partner in crime. I don't want to go through the list. I just tore it up. Everything that they all do. But we got Ross R.R. Johnson in the building.
Our Deuce.
Our Deuce is going to be a senator one day. Ross is going to be a senator one day or a governor. Now, Mariana, I don't have no worries saying there are going to be quite a few books floating around that she's written. Definitely a lot of have her own editing company, without a doubt, with some of my books on the shelf, and big homie Quan is in the building. If Quan don't know it, he really needs a major detective agency. If Quan don't know it, or if it happened and Quan don't know about it, check your sources.
Mm-hmm.
Check your sources. That's all I'm telling you. I mean, I'm just trying to let you know. See, because y'all think all the big people are on CNN and all those places. No, they started somewhere small, just like this desk we all sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
Everything started, very few started big unless they came into money or something. Everybody started somewhere pretty small. You know what I mean? Monique one day took Popeye's fried chicken where she used to work. You know, a lot of people started small. Ask Chance the Rapper what he was doing.
You can't be thinking small.
Yeah, you got
to think big.
You think it's small. And I say that all the time. Now, I love him. I'm sorry. Because he make you think. Because of him, when I think of something, if I think it ain't big enough, I be like, I'm thinking small. I got to be thinking big. You know, big. But in retrospect, guys, we have a lot of fun. So I do have to question, is this for you? Us, you know, and
well, the people are watching us.
Yeah, I know, and I relish the day that, you know, that one extra drop that we need. Y'all know what it is. Put a dollar sign in front of it. It's really strong and really there, because I understand now the joy of doing something that you love. It's a joy to see these faces each week. If I could do a show every day with them, I promise you I would, just to act the fool and clown with them and pique their brains and minds, because they don't even really know that they teach me so much. Because I get off the phone, then Yvette has to hear a whole nother hour of me talking about what we all talked about. You know what I mean? And what was said, and what Quan said, and what Mara said, and what Ross said. So guys, that's just it. Don't be mad at us. Don't hate the players. Hate the game. Mm-hmm. But we out here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit with you, and we only giving opinions, which is still great, because we've researched, we do our homework, and when we second guess, we holler up at Mari, and she has a computer in front of her, and she'll pull up stuff for us and make sure. See, we got a fact checker. She's another detective too. She will find shit you don't know happened too. So we have our fact checker when we talking, and then Ross. If Ross can go all the way back before Christ, you think I'm worried? Do you think I'm worried? Don't make me have him sit here and do some Socrates and Plato for you. Don't make me Martin Luther King this boy. Because he would do it for you. This young man would
St.
do
Thomas
it.
Aquinas. That's my guy.
Come on, Ross. Give me some more. Give me that gin and juice, Ross. Mara thought, look at Mara was ready. She thought we were about to rolling down the
She thought she was at the research.
Yeah, she thought we'd be rolling down the street smoking, sipping on gin and juice.
Hey.
Bernie Mac said, "Who you with?" Hey. But listen, guys.
Hold on. Make you feel good.
Yeah.
Miss Parker. Something to make me feel good. Miss
Parker. Oh, Miss Parker. Lord have mercy. Listen, guys, we playing, but that's life. Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying.
For real.
Dave Chappelle did a show on Saturday Night Live. Few people are up in the air about it, y'all. They up in the air. They up in the air, y'all. And I had to watch it because I wanted to see, you know, what he did that upset some people, you know. And the JEW, you know, because I know that Dave is really a supportive guy. Mm-hmm. And even when they said he was coming at us, I didn't feel offended. He didn't offend me, and I knew he wasn't. I thought he was trying to make us realize our power. And it's right that we utilize this LGBTQ community. And he was meaning all races. Because he was telling how he had some words with a guy at a bar he was at. And the guy got offended, and the guy stood up. He was a tall guy, but he wasn't wearing, because the guy had the shirt, you know, tied up. You know how they have the little shirts tied cute, all cute, you know, very cute. I love it. And so he said, well, I'm not going to be punked out by somebody with their shirt tied all up. But he said, then when it went, you know, a little left, the guy didn't do what he thought he was going to do. He got his phone and called the police on a black man. Mm-hmm. Now, that's just like if he and Dave got into it.
He called the police for what?
Because they had words and they got into an argument. And when the guy felt like he was getting a little fearful about it, he got his phone and called the police.
Yeah, and they tried to take video of Dave while Dave was at his table.
Yeah, and so that was what it was about. And he got up saying, "Come on, now." But the thing about it was, for the man, for him to call he felt like you being a part of the LGBTQ community, you should feel for us more than anybody. Being on the outside, being judged, being this, being that. The one move that you had was calling the police. Because I wasn't gonna hurt. I'm not gonna hurt you. You get what I mean? That's not gonna go down. So for me, what he was saying was, it's just like, as I said, if with the young guy being gay, me and Dave Chappelle, I won't even use this first. Me and Dave Chappelle got into it. And I just kept kind of going at it because he's had that happen too. He said he's got into it with a woman like that kind of dresses like me. And realized it was a woman. It was like, oh, I can't hit her though. You know what I mean? I can argue with her, but I can't hit her because she's a woman. But the retrospect of it was, this is just like if I, you know what I'm saying, were to call, let's say he and I get into it, I call the police. We know what's going to happen. Now, if the guy is transgender or something like that, what if Dave Chappelle called a bunch of LGBTQ haters? You understand what I'm talking about? He get on the phone and say, hey, get on over here. It's a bunch of them here sitting at the table. So that's what he's saying. It's just like me calling somebody I know that would try to put harm on you. That's what you did when you called the police on me. You became not a Karen, but a KC or something. You understand what I'm saying? Unless he's he was recognizing as transgender, then you were a transgender Karen. We could let's work this out without involving something that's gonna cause one of us to someone to lose a life. And so I wanting to see what he did for Saturday for talking. They were hoping about the election. Now Saturday Night Live, from what I read, seems like they're trying to say, well, we didn't expect him to do this. Stop that BS. And he didn't say anything so bad that you got to run and get your name out, get your name out of it fast. Like, we didn't approve what he said. He didn't say anything that bad.
Nope.
He did not. He praised the Jews. He said he had a lot of friends. He just cracked jokes saying you can't get up and do this. And they got him saying, I'm going DEFCON 3 tomorrow. He said, I couldn't sleep because he about to go DEFCON. I want to know what that means. I know what he's saying. What you about to do? And in retrospect, to just summing it up, he's just saying, let's not take everything so freaking seriously all the time. We ain't talking about Kanye now. But you're doing exactly what he's trying to say don't do. Guys, it's like John Lewis said. We may have came on different, boats. You know what I mean? We all may have came on different ships, but we all in the same boat right now. And my Jew family, my Jewish families, I know that you were talked about just as bad as we were. I had to learn that because I didn't know, because like most people being black, I just saw one color of skin, especially being young. At first I wasn't trying to dissect and separate. When you're in the South and you see things, you just see color. You don't really see, well, she white, but they're Jewish, da da da. But I did hear police officers say certain negative things about you as they said about us. And later, as I got a little bit older and I was watching Drive Miss Daisy, I saw when they pulled them over and he said, you got an old Jew lady. And so the hate has always been there. We've all had to deal with it. We all are trying to grow from it. And in retrospect, sometimes it's not just about who you are as far as race. Because Martin Luther King wanted us to be judged by the content of our character. Now, if your character is in check, it's in check. It has nothing to do with your religion, your race. If you're fairly being judged by your character, and if it is your character, please don't do this to your forefathers and your future generation. Don't make it where you play the card if you know that your character is not in check.
Candace Owens.
Because that's getting us in a whole nother situation. And a country divided will fall. I'm not saying that what Kanye did was right at all, because he came at us too. That's a whole nother animal. I just think we need to reevaluate this Kyrie Irving thing. Everybody need to watch the video. Let's see what was his tweet, what was his Instagram post, what was it? If it was just the video, and there was no malice behind it, even if you thought he meant something, let's see what you thought it could have made us think, because we got to be in this together.
You're asking for people just to view this one incident objectively, instead of thinking about how he's an anti-vaxxer, he's a flat earth believer. Forget all of that stuff. It's unrelated. Look at this incident as an isolated moment in time, and then make an evaluation.
Without a doubt, my son. That's exactly. If I could get you to say it 17 more times, I really would. Perfectly said.
But also too, Dionne,
isolated.
And I know all of us have done this as well. What I'm about to say, I know all of us have done this. All of us have clicked like on just something random we were just going through. On also, we all just click. Hey, I'm just gonna like this, and not even think about what we're looking at, because we just see the name of the person. We're like, oh, okay, I like this person. Boom, I just click like and just keep moving. So we all have done that.
And we done it. Also, Quan gonna pick right back up. I'm gonna add one more to what he's saying. Sometimes we also do it because we like the people and we want them to like us back. If you look up to somebody, you'll just click it. Go ahead, Quan, because he's right. We don't think about it until...
No, we don't. We definitely don't. And I'll put it like this. And this is something that, I had to learn as well. I had to learn that just because I know that person, just because I know what they do, just because, hey, I know how they get down and everything, doesn't mean that I have to always, show support of it. And I had to learn that lesson, because it's just sometimes that when people move a certain way, like publicly, I can't always promote that. I can't always put that out there, because at the end of the day, even though that's their business, I can't put myself or align myself. I may just click a like, but you can't assume from me just clicking like that this is how I genuinely feel about, what they're doing, no matter what they're doing. Like I said, I'm just randomly clicking like just because. I may just be barely watching the video for 5 seconds, because I'm just trying to now move on to the next post.
It's just a blatant like. And then because of that like, you come back the next morning and all hell done broke loose.
Yep.
And you like, dang, I just liked. And he's right. And Ross, they're summing up exactly completely what I'm trying to say. It's just like when going to court. It's the truth. I was watching a show. It was a court case, and the guy did say, he walked right up and said, "Let it be known, I don't like him. I can't stand him." And he was representing him, and the man was like, "What the hell is you doing?" He cheats on his wife. He did, but what he was doing was letting the jury know all this stuff may be true, but the only reason we got him here today is to find out whether or not he killed this person. And you can't let your prejudices or your thoughts, personal thoughts, cloud that judgment.
Exactly.
And all we need to know.
That happens all the time.
Oh,
all the time.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like, a person can say something that makes complete sense, and just because of who they are, isn't like a bunch of people like, nah, that's stupid. It didn't make sense. You're gonna get all kind of hate just because of who said it.
Oh,
They're like, it's the difference between using the NBA example, LeBron saying something and Kyrie saying. They could both say something we'll say it's in a gray area. Because LeBron says it, people are gonna love it. Kyrie says it, they're gonna.
Without a doubt, and that's sad, because I was just saying it behind the scene, and I don't really say much. I'm afraid to say out front, and I might block myself for number, because you can't go back and see. You would see that I'm a lover of people. I said we can't be upset with our Jewish friends, and everybody is friends and family till you prove otherwise to me. You haven't took anything like that from me. Again, your character. If that character's in check, it's question, check yourself. But with retrospect of it, we got to get it together. We have to
Yes,
fully
we
get
do.
it together. And my thought about things is let's not be so critical so fast.
Mm.
You know, um, everything is not somebody out to get you or to. But I again, our people, my people, we got to get information. Even if you feel like Kyrie has been being done wrong, he's wronged. It doesn't help if everybody doesn't get information.
Mm.
Because see, again, one thing about the Jews, they are gonna be on point to say, "Let us educate you." Very few people now are. I got Roland Martin; he's good about it. You have some, but we got to get stronger about educating our people about us. Again,
Someone watched the documentary that he shared,
which documentary?
that the guy shared, what's his name? Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a documentary from Amazon, which now I don't know, and I think Mark, you shared it with me, where it was like Amazon is making the most money and someone else is making the most money, but Kyrie is paying all this money. Yeah, Mark, yeah, you shared it with me where in the video it said that how Amazon's making the most money off this documentary and haven't got rid of it, and how even like whatever the TV show or whatever video they have is like the most viewed. But guess what? Kyrie now is just sitting back and have to do all these things while their Amazon is profiting off of him and off of all these things that are going on.
Well, let me
But
ask
I
you
wonder
this.
what was said in the documentary.
Go ahead, Ross. I mean, Mari, go ahead.
Ross. Okay, so
So you got to flirt with that because I said that, Ross. Go ahead.
So, but I mean, the content of the documentary, like, did someone actually watch it? Do we know if it is it like opinion in the documentary or is it facts? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
And see, what I want to know, Quan, and I think that you might know, or Ross, either one that knows, let me know. What is the documentary about? Because foolishly, because it happened, I didn't want to get, I didn't have time in my space for it right now because we had just went through the whole draining of the Kanye West situation. I was dealing with the election, and I was like, you get tired of saying next. So, what was the documentary about? What did Kyrie do so wrong?
None. He just retweeted and liked. Like literally, he just retweeted and liked. It wasn't like he said some kind of great opinion about it. If you even watched, because I've seen everyone the video before when this first happened, and he was talking to all the news people about what happened. He just literally said, "I just retweeted and liked it," and that was it.
What was the documentary about?
The whole documentary was mainly about how they were trying to expose how the Jews were just doing the things that they were doing, and how they were saying the plight of the Negro is this and that. It's just like they kept on trying to just pretty much put the association blame on how a lot of the issues that we still stem from are because of these people. And really, that's not the reality at all. That's really not the reality of how that's not the reality of what we really lived in. That's not the real reality. Even though, yes, the entertainment industry, this industry, that industry has a certain amount. At the end of the day, it's really not about who they are. It's about just being able to really see the example of why and what's going on. And they presented such a skewed way that made people like cringe, like wow, like ugh, like it, like they made the Jews look like a cult, pretty much.
Like I have just a general idea.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you're good. I was just saying, like, I got a general idea of what it was, and it is kind of like, I mean, it's the same like anti-Semitic rhetoric that we've heard for years and years and centuries. Like, go back to the Weimar Republic with Hitler, and saying even though they made up less than 3% of the population, they were the cause of all of Germany's economic woes. So it's like a little bit more modern version of that, except a little bit more I think it was a little bit more focused. Am I right, Quan? A little more focused on just
like
kind of black Jew relations.
Like I said, they try to make them look like a cult, just like how they make us look like a cult. With how I even watched this thing today, and how they were saying that this is how you sell to the Negro, and they point out these 3 things, and how if you sell this way to the Negro, that this is how you're going to make sure the Negro buys from your store, buys from this. So all they're doing is they're kind of doing that rhetoric, like I said, like cult-like rhetoric, where it's like, we're going to skew the message, just like they're trying now to do with our books, our education, and all these things of censoring the real message, of censoring and how we're really not necessarily learning from each other, but censoring the knowledge of understanding each other. Wow. And that's all they were trying to do. And like I said, they used to make those kind of videos all day about Black people, about Asian people, about Latinos back in the day, because they were propaganda. Trying to just yes.
But over here it says also that it's like extensive anti-Semitism, such as claims that Jews control the media and that millions of Jews did not die during the Holocaust.
That's a lie. They died.
Like I said,
and they lost a lot of people, and I believe the Holocaust was true. I know it happened. I feel it. I know it.
We have survivors.
My grandparents lived it.
What?
Yeah, exactly. There's survivors.
My grandfather had to dress up like a woman, otherwise he had to go fight, in Germany. So he had to dress up and I don't know what the English word is, but wait.
Wow. But see, that's what I'm saying. We can't say the Holocaust didn't exist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like hiding. He had to hide.
No, and one of the most endearing, fearful.
But if you share the documentary, then in my opinion, you need to write something with it. Like, what are your thoughts after watching this? Or blah blah blah. But don't make it seem like my Black people. You need to watch this shit because
Well, see, it goes back to Mari's right, and it goes back to that fake stuff we got to do. Like Kanye was commenting on the documentary about George Floyd, but it was the one Candace Owens did. Right. We already knew it was gonna be warped anyway. God, we got to get more cautious and see how Mari pulled that up so quick. We got to get more cautious. I know we just liking stuff out here. See, for much is given, much is asked. See, if I had liked that thing by accident, it would have totally been by accident. And I'm not kissing anybody's ass to get along with her face. I'm just speaking real truth. I know there was a Holocaust. Just like I know that a lot of us were lost. I know it, how cruel and how vicious it was over there, and how anybody that survived it was certainly covered by grace. You know what I mean? And favored. And I know just like anyone that survived slavery has had a testimony. And you can't say these things didn't happen. This is not the way you represent history, by denying it. It's why it is called history. Learn your definition. Even now, the fact checkers can check all of this. It happened. Stop denying it. Stop. That's where the first angle is coming from.
But Dionne, you can answer this. Why do you think and I know you've probably seen this too when you were growing up and going to school. Why is it that they're always continuing to try to censor certain books or censor certain things or censor like cultural things that really are about education?
Fascism. They want to control the mind. If you control the mind, you control everything. That's why I always say your knowledge is your power. See, the thing about this is just like George Orwell's 1984, and you already know all of this, Ross. Just like what first of all, let me talk about this too. Just like our generation X went in, and pretty much handed a lot of the election back over. Like, here y'all go. As soon as I turned 18, I went and got registered. Just like same thing happened with Joe Biden and Donald with 44 and a half. Thank God you stopped me. Because they told Republicans, and they told them all, the senators, everybody, these young kids in Florida that lost their friends to that gun violence. Y'all voted against this bill. We're never going to forget it. By the time the next election comes around, we'll be 18 years old, and you're going to get out of here. And so the fear they have, like DeSantis, first in a lot of southern states, if they want to be blue. And Georgia's purple, Arizona's purple, almost blue. And that's the greatest fight that they don't. That's losing, a party. The Democrats, Republican. So the main thing they want to do is control the mind. Okay, if we control the books, these books are a pathway and a guideway to how to. And so when we get rid of these things and control what it's just like when they didn't want African Americans or slaves to read.
Mm-hmm.
We can control you because, see, there were people that were still slaves. You know this for a lot of years because they didn't know they had been freed.
Yep.
And it took so long for the message to get down, and the people were so evil they didn't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody
hence Juneteenth.
Yes.
Juneteenth.
Correct.
Thank you. So, and in retrospect, we're in a time where we can control that. But this goes back to parents. Parents have to be vigilant at the schools. Go to your parent-teacher meetings. Read everything your child brings home. And when someone like DeSantis is trying to do this, why did you guys reelect this man into office?
But hey, it's not only him though, because I saw this, interview with this lady, Jane Elliott, this white old lady about the brown eye, blue eye thing. She showed maps where the United States are huge. It's huge compared to the rest of the world, and I think Ohio was on the equator, and teaching people that the other countries are smaller, and then we're the United States. I really wonder, Dionne, if what you've been taught, like if there's probably no way to go back, but I mean when you were in geography, I really wondered.
In that retrospect, it was amazing because we were taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Mm-hmm.
We were taught that. We went home and said it. Mom, Christopher Columbus discovered America. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was going into high school, into college that I learned differently. The more I read. But now I did have some great African-American teachers, black teachers, I'll say at that time, that's what we said. And great white teachers, Caucasian, that did put truth in stuff. But I'm going to tell you what we didn't do. When you got into history and all of that, and geography, especially history, certain parts of it was cut so short. We had a one-day class, on Martin Luther King. He had a dream. He had a dream. And hence, some of the teachers, one teacher did say, hence why we are all in this classroom together. He had a dream. You understand what I'm saying? And just to keep it real. So that's another thing, goes back, what you said goes back to what Quan said. And Ross, you went through something like this. You were reprimanded for something like this. Tell them what happened. Let's give us a short version, but give us the version.
Yeah, so in a 7th, 8th grade history class that I was in control of for most of that semester, all I pointed out is the hypocrisy between what the founding fathers of the United States, what they stated, and what the reality was, and that that the foundation of America was on this lie of truth, justice, liberty for all kind of thing. But and the rights, it was all about the rights and freedoms of the citizens, and yet there's a huge number of enslaved individuals. And I was just on the way out of the school, just like any other day, and just in the hallway, I was ambushed by the principal, telling me, like, hey, you can't say that, you can't say those things. And I'm like, so even so it's like I'm pointing out the truth here. And I even presented to the class, and I said, but that's a topic for another day. It's not like we spent time on it, and and those students, they know me. They know they had a chance. If I always let them know, if you believe something I'm saying isn't true, like call me out on it. Not a single one's called me out on it. They won't raise their hands, and and trust me, they have raised their hands and questioned some of the question things. So that's how I know. I'm like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, and yeah, it was an ordeal.
Yeah, and he's in Michigan, and in Santa Fe reason, but in retrospect,
did he give a reason for it?
He claimed like his reason was, so this is the thing. It was around that time when critical race theory in schools was becoming a big thing. So in his mind, he thought, and I tried to get meetings with the man. He would never meet with me. And that's the truth. But for me, from the gathering facts around that time, he had heard about critical race theory in recent school board meetings, and it had been brought up, and there was, some one individual who was was really pushing it. And so it was obviously on his mind, and that's what he went to. He just assumed, oh, like I had an agenda. And I always stated, I don't have an agenda. Like I'm there to just teach them the history, like that's in the books, what we're given, and help. And what we're supposed to be trying to do as educators is we want the students to think for themselves, to evaluate history. That's the only way there's a lot of them are like, why are we learning this? Right. So the way to help them bridge the gap between what happened 200 years ago or 300 years ago and what's happening now is by to have them think about it. And so, yeah, but it was based on, I know that was like right in the back of his mind, like critical race theory. Oh, he has an agenda. He's pushing, he has some idea or message that he wants to push onto these kids. Now, if he actually cared, and the thing is, at that point, he had known me for a couple of years. Had he even thought about who I was as a person, he would have known that wouldn't have been the truth. But like I said, I'm giving you the facts. The man would never meet with me. I asked him to meet with me. The time I actually got a chance to actually just say, hey, we need to meet. He was saying, I'm busy right now, and he wouldn't give me another time. So, it's
wow.
I'll let you guys figure out what does that mean.
Right.
Wow.
But
and see, and that's what I'm telling you. So the thing about it is that's controlled education. Like, yes. I'm gonna control what you learn. I gotta teach you. But see, that's so that they've been saying for years that certain things didn't occur, that different people found something, did something, taking credit for things that's not true. Correct. So when the true history gets out, the whole momentum, everything changes. It switches, it reverses. And when that happens, there's a loss of power there, a loss of validation. Like Black History Month, which should be every day. But thank God for the month, because in that month, you learned that there was a lot of things that was invented that you had no clue.
Correct.
That an African American or a Black person created, which it's quite a lot sea of things. Pretty much a lot of everything that America has been built on was on the backs of a whole lot of immigrants and Blacks.
Indeed.
And if I may return briefly back to Mari's original question, like what did we learn in school? I had the privilege, and I've mentioned her before, outstanding high school teacher, and she, the one who told me about Obama and everything. But she always told us, and I had some other teachers too who history teachers always told us how much like students in, for example, like Europe, how much they know about our own country that we don't even know. Like they can name all our state capitals. Every
Your
state, every capital.
Got better and better. I think when Mari was asking me, she was just asking because I'm a little bit older. So she's like, what were they really telling you back? Wasn't it Mari?
Yeah.
Like, Dionne, what were they really telling you? And thank God Dionne was a reader. I really was. You know, at a very, very young age. I learned how to read when I was 3. My great-great-grandmother taught me how to read. You know, like I told you, from the Bible. But from there, they had a lot of books in my home. We had books. My mom bought, I remember my mom busting her to buy encyclopedias to make sure we had a whole set, you know, to read, to learn from. And I say that, say my grandmother used to tell me, my great-grandmother used to say, your way of traveling right now through this world is going to be with these books. You know, you learn what's in Africa, you learn this, you'll learn that. So I don't know how many households had that, but I can speak, hence it opened the door again to accumulate knowledge and to know when to question. But you, in my time, like Ross and them a little bit different, and the kids Ross is teaching now is a lot different. You didn't question adults. You know, you just did. So if you knew you heard something that wasn't accurate, you couldn't question it. We didn't have kids in school that spoke out and said, that's wrong. You know, it was a different generation. You could feel it and you had to suck it in. Just suck it up, go in and just, you know, maybe if you had a moment with your mom like I would, you catch moments and you say, but they said so-and-so, but look what this say. And then she say, well, you go by that book. You know what I mean? Like, correct. This is what you do. So,
and also too, it's interesting we're talking about this education and control state of mind, where the founders of TikTok in Japan said that what they did was they gave Japan and other Asian countries a certain version of TikTok versus what they gave the Americans. And what they end up doing was they end up giving the version of TikTok to those over there in Japan and all that to help educate them on more things about science, about infrastructure, about business, and made sure that our version, even though yes, we can still be exposed to those same things, they made sure our version focused more on the entertainment, focused more on the dancing, focused more on that.
keep us preoccupied from educating us. And see, that's the thing. But that's parents. As parents, if I were a parent again today, you wouldn't be TikToking until you book rocket. It's just me. But those things keep the kids. What's that word? Parents use the computer a lot of times and get mad if you won't. But we do use the computer a lot as a way of babysitting.
Distraction.
So that we can finish things and things that we are doing. And goes without saying, Quan, what happened with the football guys and on the bus? What provoked this young man to go on the bus and start shooting? What happened? What happened? Was it some bullying going on? Was it anything going on?
They said it was bullying. I don't necessarily think it was bullying, to be honest with you. I really don't think it was bullying. What I think was this. I think what ended up happening was I think that young man got jealous because he was not starting. I think since he felt that these other guys probably was not as quote unquote talented as him, and maybe didn't have the same abilities, but they were probably put ahead because of probably the rankings, the rankings of, you know, the certain coaches or the certain state. Since they were kind of ranked ahead of him, he's like, you know what? I got so much hate in my system. I'm gonna do this. And so from there, he just did it, you know? And it's unfortunate that 3 lives, you know, 3 young Black men were killed over a guy's jealousy, a guy's hate, a guy's envy. Because here's the thing, if you really were being bullied, you could have talked to your coaches. You could have talked to the trainers. You could have talked to the, you know.
Maybe he did. I ain't defending him. Maybe he did. Because sometimes people, if the players are good, maybe they just, you know, they tried to say something. They like, oh, coach, it's nothing. Now, again, trust me. I'm not defending him. I just kind of want to know what was probably in his head. And if it was, because I told you jealousy is the killer. Jealousy can be a killer. And I cannot condone anybody that would walk on a bus and just outright shoot innocent people.
And plan it.
Yeah. And I can't condone that. I can't accept it. No way, shape, or form. I pray for you, but you wrong. and they need to get him evaluated right away. You wrong. I just wonder.
It's similar to what happened with Shinquella.
Mhm.
You know, this young, beautiful Black girl, you know, hey, just living her best life, working hard, doing everything she could, decided, hey, to go on this trip with her friends and pay most of the trip to go to Cabo. See, that's the part that's let me talk. Shanquella was doing so good that she decided, hey, I'm going to pay most of the trip because I really want to enjoy this time with my friends because I've been working so hard. I've been, hey, going through all these things. And the friends, at the end of the day, had so much hate in their heart, they hid from her. Just like the guy who, quote unquote, got bullied, hid all that hate in his heart, hid all that jealousy in his heart, and ended up, once again, just like Shanquella's friends, taking lives of innocent people.
What did they do?
They, so Shanquella ended up in a quote unquote fight. It wasn't really a fight. They ended up fighting, and Shanquella just was trying to be prone. She was trying to defend. She was on the ground like, okay, don't hit me anymore. And the girl and the friends were holding their cameras out, recording every second of this, while the other girl was just punching her in the back of her head, punching her in the neck, punching her while Shanquella was laying on the ground by the edge of the bed, just trying to just not fight because she's not understanding, why are you fighting me? Like, why are you doing this to me? And I guarantee what ended up happening, she probably went numb. And then from there, the girl killed her. But the
So
friends
all
try to say
going
that.
to jail?
Yep.
Good.
Because now the FBI is on the case. The FBI now is involved in the case. And
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because what is going on with us? What's really going on? Seriously. Anybody know? Somebody help me understand. I'm gonna be jealous of somebody that's got something because I ain't got something. Huh?
You know, with the sports situation, you know, when it comes to, yeah, I could see how some like players on the team might feel like they're getting bullied, but it's anybody who's played for years and at that age and at that level, played for years. Anybody's played for years know, like, there's just some basic lumps that you take by being on a team. And it's like, you know, I'm not gonna name names, but I can think of a kid, you know, I didn't play American football. I played football, soccer. Yeah, you know, and I can honestly think of a couple of my teammates that, you know, they're younger, you know, they might have been the younger players on the team, and you know, they got kind of pushed around, roughed up a little bit more, but ultimately it was just to help their game out. It was just toughen them up. It's, you know,
and then what's getting wrong with us? Like, we just getting so jealous hard. It's getting cruel. It's getting evil. So I'm trying to follow this. You got one guy that went on a bus, killed 3 guys, injured 2 more. And it could be possibly that he was jealous of them. Even if they kind of were pushing him around, and still, then you have a young lady that you said paid for predominantly most of the trip for the girls to go on. So they go on a trip with her to kill her.
And guys.
So the guy, nobody tried to help this girl. Well, the guys weren't in the room, right?
Yes, recording.
A recording.
So were they fighting over a guy?
No.
What were they fighting her for? Something had to make the fight break out.
Yeah, I don't know. I know.
Yeah, it seems like just one of those situations where people they've been plotting this, like, maybe not plotting out that exact situation, but they've like, for a while, like Quan said, they haven't liked this individual for a long time, and something just eventually sets them off. They go over the edge. But yeah, they were obviously, and I mean, it comes back to, they were jealous of this. You know, there are people all the time who are, I don't like her. Look at what Look at what she's doing. She, blah.
Yeah, but
I don't know why it leads to murder.
But I don't understand how to fight. How you start a fight? I'm just saying, if y'all friends, what make you get into a fight where you just fist fighting and then the guys girl fight and nobody realized this going too far? Whoever filming, because see, if I was there, truthfully, I really would have been like, wait a minute, that's enough.
They went to Cabo.
Yeah, even if I first saw it and thought it was funny, after a few minutes, if the girl is not really fighting back and something going on, it's like, get up out of her. This is enough.
And it started becoming so disturbing because she was literally like, okay, so in MMA, when you don't want to fight anymore and you can't tap out, you'll cover yourself over with your hands and your arms because you're saying, hey, I give up, I'm submitting, without saying it, without tapping out. She was literally doing the same thing, and the girl just kept going and going. It became so disturbing because it's almost you were like watching the hyenas go after a lion.
So none of the guys said this is enough.
No.
So they going to jail too, right?
Yes.
Or something gonna happen to them. Cause nothing and nobody said I can't see the guys being jealous of her. You understand what I'm trying to say?
They told her at first that it was alcohol poisoning. And then when they received the autopsy a couple of days later, they saw that her neck had been broken. She had back spasms. There was a crack in her spinal cord. I mean, that girl was beaten to death. Like, there's no denying that. And can you imagine her parents first? She went to Cabo, she was in Mexico, and they called her parents and told them that she died because of alcohol poisoning. It's nuts.
They put every one of them in jail. And I'm sorry for the other parents that y'all got to feel this, but that's the only way they're gonna learn. It's the only way they're gonna learn. I'm sorry. A life not coming back. At least you can go visit them. Cause it's probably gonna be manslaughter, a smaller count or something. But they lied, so that you did something wrong, and every one of them. Find out which one came up with the lie. And the guy holding the camera, get his ass. I mean, this is crazy because it's enough is enough is enough.
And it's crazy too, and this probably goes back to even the sports thing. I think probably Ross even went through this as well, where everyone thinks y'all on the same level playing, right? Everyone thinks, hey, we're all either not grow up each other, but we're all working at the same level, right?
Field,
yeah. And then when someone just decides, hey, I'm gonna put in the work to exceed just a little more, not because I'm trying to be better than someone, because I believe in having a good work ethic, that I'm being hated on because I'm deciding to just take a step forward rather than staying still in this place. Is there something wrong with having, a work ethic to just try to think you can move forward?
It's not, but in a perfect world, but somehow in this world, people do get jealous of what happens with you. And that's why a lot of people that make it say, when they ask Deion Sanders at the time, when they asked the question, would money change? He said, yeah, it's going to change my area code, my zip code, and see, in a perfect world, you could become like the person that was in Altadena that won that 900 million. They can't stay there no more.
No.
And if they're smart, don't show your face. If you can collect that money without anybody knowing who you are, do it. Because it changes. It changes. I've seen what a small amount can do. And that's not now, that's kind of in the past too. It changes. People got to make plans with your money. And I ain't talking about now. I'm just saying, even in the past when something has went down and somebody, you think you could trust when they know some money's coming through. And this is like, I promised a guy farther back, years back. But it's just something about things. And then if you have it going on, like our boy we were just talking about, PMB, that was jealousy, some of it. That spoiled into hatred and all kind of other things. You gonna wait and the whole family plotting to kill this one guy. For a chain? They all probably in jail now, right?
Yeah.
For
The
a chain.
baby mama, the dad, and him.
Yeah, for
and
a
the killer.
chain. Yeah, for a chain. Go figure. What the hell you say? Woo! Mary, give me something more milder. This is too tough for me, girl. I need a drink. This is just crazy. Ross, we got to get ready to let y'all guys get out of here. I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. We have had some great conversation, interesting conversation. It seems like we just talking, but guys, we trying to talk and educate and teach.
Oh, yeah.
If it gets in your mind that you really feel like that you can't fathom someone else being blessed or having something, you need to try to reach out and get some help. Something's wrong with you. Because what it should tell you in your mind is, you think it's small. You need to be thinking big. I'm trying to bring some humor to it. But in retrospect, just really start checking yourself and see how you can elevate yourself. One thing about the top is there's a lot of room up there. If you dream it, you can achieve it, but you got to put your time in it to believe it and make it happen. And fighting and hurting someone else over what they're doing ain't going to get you nowhere but locked up or dead. It doesn't help anything.
Dionne, they're scared to climb.
They got to remember it, but some people don't like to climb. You got some people that it moves too slow for them. So you got microwave folks out here still. See, the climb is a journey. It's meant to be a journey because God wants you to have a story and a great ending with it. And the climb, it takes too long. Some people don't understand that it's what it is, though. A lot of people that's gotten where they are have worked hard to do. Sacrifice some things. Even these young people that are making it, a lot of them are sacrificing and doing to become. As Michelle Obama said, just to become. See, somewhere in there, the light is being blown out, taken away from us. And how, I don't know. But she did say something profound about some kind of way we have to find a way to ignite the light in us. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been through some things where somebody has been slowly putting the light out, and darkness will bring darkness. And that's where you get all of this evil that's happening. That there's a lot of people out there that has a lot of darkness in them. They're not inhuman. They're just in darkness. And in a missing of the light. You know, and that was the thing I think that may have been a false story, but they always equated it to Albert Einstein, that he was a young man in college and with a professor that was an atheist. I think you've heard about that, Ross. And maybe Quan, you guys may have heard about it, and how the professor asked them why did they believe in God, and how if there was a God, why was there so many people dying? Why people were getting hurt? Why were they sick? Why do you believe all this and prove your facts? And how can you prove this? And Einstein asked him, was there such thing as cold? You know what I mean? You had to go scientific. And the man was saying, oh yeah, and Einstein said, no, cold doesn't exist. It's just a word used to define how you feel when there's no warmness. You know what I mean? When the sun's out, you know how you feel the warmness? You try to find a way to define cold when there's a lack of heat. And he asked him, was there such thing as darkness? You know, being dark, it being dark. He said, that's a word that's used to explain what it's like when there's a lack of light. There's no light there so that you can see your way through, maneuver. You know what I mean? These are things that are used because you're doing scientifically. Some of these things don't really exist at all. For real, scientifically. We just have words to explain it away. Where he said that's the same way that you look at religion. God is like the light. And what it is a missing of it. Meaning that when you don't have that light, you don't have that warmth, you know what I mean? Then there's a missing of God. Having that is a necessity that you need, in life. And it just kind of blew the professor's mind, because when he was finished with it, go online and look up Albert Einstein, and they'll tell you if it's supposedly true and maybe not true, but the definition of explaining God, and him having a professor talking to the professor that was an atheist. But when he finished with him, the professor was just stumped. He said, maybe the people that committed the crimes that you're talking about and that did what you're talking about, they were remiss in missing of the light. And the warmth, so they were in the dark. And that thing explains a lot of things. And if I don't care what you say to me, when you look over life and you think about it, and you think about all the cruelty and a lot of things that go on, a lot of those people, when you look at them, you see nothing in their eyes. But coldness, something's missing. Now, when you look at some of us and you see that we have a compassion for something, we care, we can see it in our eyes. If there's something we see on TV that's hurtful, even the man would drop a tear. That is because that void is filled. There's something in us. There's a life, a warmth. And that's the thing how you explain God. There's an entity in us that has us, that makes us empathetic and sympathetic. And when it's not there, you can tell. I had a guest that was on, her son was murdered. And I had the footage. If you go back and watch the show, and Deborah, Barnes. But like I said, that you go back and watch the show, and the guy comes out, and they're trying to get him off because they're having some issues, and they want to let him come out on bond. When I looked at that young man, it scared me to death. I saw nothing in him. And when that judge denied him, and he looked at that judge, I said, if they didn't have him on handcuffs and those guards were not around, he'd have did something to her. That's a darkness. And all I can do is pray that somewhere while he's in there, he finds that light. Some never find it. That's many serial killers. But anyway, I pray that somewhere out there you guys find the light. I pray that those young ladies and men that were involved in that murder of that young girl remembers somewhere in there, in some of you find light. Because for her, you've managed to bring a lot of darkness to her family. Same thing for the young man that took the lives of those young men and also shot the other innocent people. Whatever caused you to get out of the light and go into the darkness, I pray that whatever happens, you get a healing and you find it.
I think they should send him back to Mexico. Lock him up over there.
That's where it happened at.
Yeah.
Why? They shouldn't even get the kind of they shouldn't even serve time over here. They should have to serve it in the worst of the way. You're so right. Because this one may be a little smooth for them. That's sad. Guys, let's give everybody a quick thought for the evening as we get ready to roll up out. Remember, y'all, and we're going to keep being on point about this, Georgia. Let's go ahead and let Herschel Walker walk his ass on back.
Now walk it out. Walk it out.
South side, east side, west side, walk it out. Walk him out. Walk him back on over into Texas. Back to the white man. Walk him right on back to the white supremacists, to all that. Please walk it out. And my people, run to the polls so that we can put another runner in that seat. As they were saying, and I didn't even know that, the farmers in Atlanta are getting help. The prices of the medicines have went down tremendously, especially if you need insulin. Herschel Walker, you don't even know the first thing. You don't give a DAMN about it. Any of this. I'm just flabbergasted that it's this close that they can't already see that he's not the one. But I don't think it's them. I think that midterms, a lot of people don't come out like they do the presidential election. I'm thinking that's some of the issue. Guys, Ross, Mari, Quan, give them a thought, quick thought for this evening. Let's get out so Ross can begin his weekend, Quan can begin his weekend, and Mari can begin her weekend. And I can go celebrate my
Birthday,
lovely
right?
better half's birthday. Yes.
Oh, I said happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Vet.
Yeah.
No, y'all doing it wrong. Come on, we gotta do. Come on.
Happy
Birthday
birthday
to
to ya.
Come on,
Happy
sing it.
birthday to ya.
Happy
still
birthday.
Happy.
Yeah, see, but everybody trying to celebrate. I better not crack that joke. I'll be in the trouble. I'm about to say something I shouldn't say. I'm gonna give a fake age. I'm gonna get in the doghouse. But yeah, we gotta go out. I'm gonna go and celebrate her birthday. And thank God for keeping you on this earth and holding you tight and close, because everybody knows last year we had a close call. So by the grace of God, by his grace and mercy, we are here and you're fine. So that I will celebrate always. Millions didn't make it, but you were one of the ones who did, and we celebrate that. Mari, ladies first. Give them something they can feel.
Yeah, just want to add to that the son of my friends in Vegas turned 3 today, Michael, and he used to call me grandma. So I think that's cute because I'm not a grandma, but he just thought I was grandma. So Michael, happy birthday. Bet, happy birthday. You know, Dionne just said you're fine, and you're fine. Fine. So
yes, she
have a
is.
lovely evening together. Love y'all.
Go ahead, Ross.
First of all, happy birthday, Aunt Vet. Second, earlier we mentioned Pelosi stepping down. And I think we, if we would have had more time, we probably could have spoke about her successor, her probable successor. They call him the Barack of Brooklyn, Hakeem Jeffries.
Mm-hmm.
From what I don't know a whole lot about him, but from what I did learn about him, he seems to be the right choice. And let's see what happens. Hopefully he'll take over the reins of leadership.
He's something else. Go ahead, Quan.
Go listen to the new La Russell album. Go listen to the brand new Nas album. And the other thing I just want to say to everybody, well, first off, happy birthday, Vet. Love you, Vet. Appreciate you always. Trust me, I do. And last thing I just want to say is celebrate life. Celebrate life while you still have it. Celebrate life.
It is a celebration. Guys, knowledge is power. And as always, your power. As we discussed all this stuff we talked about today, all of it is based upon the knowledge that we'll have. And we're going to need a whole hell of a lot more knowledge to get through what's going on and to stay focused and verbal. If you don't have that knowledge, you're going to miss something, and something's going to pass you by, or something's going to get you caught up. So please, read a book. Ross normally says it. Read a book. Do something other than TikTok with your phone. Google some things. Watch a documentary. Keep educating yourself. Keep climbing higher and higher with your mind. Take it to its highest limits. Push it as far as you can push it. Push it. Thank God that you have it and it is functioning. Push it. And at the end of the day, love somebody. Love everybody. Do it on purpose because it feels good. I feel if we do more of that, we'll have a whole lot less of what's been going on. Somewhere there we have to learn to put that back into our hearts, that light. The only thing that can conquer darkness is light. And we need to keep searching for it. This is the only time I will quote the horror movie. Look into the light, Carol Ann. You need to look into the light. Now, and keep in mind with Carol Ann, that's why they told her to look to the light. So they could save her.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look into the light. So look into the light so we can kind of make this better, because this is not good. And these are young people. So many of you young people are dying too young. Going to prison too young.
Mm-hmm.
For foolishness, jealousy, envy. Woo! if you just learn to love yourself, you would know that you're not defined by clothes. You're not defined by money. You're not defined by the car you drive. Denzel Washington once said, as my great-grandmother said, I never seen a rich person with the money following a hearse. And as Dick Gregory said, we only have one job on this earth. That's to get back, to do as much as God wants us to do. We came here, like he said, through a small thing called a womb to become out in this big world. We only have one job. It's to be as clean as we were when we came out that womb, when we go back there. And that's a hard job. You got one job while you here. So yeah. So as I say, that's a hard job. Focus on that job. You need to be as clean and pure as you were. And that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that because like this, we getting caught up in the things in life. It's the simple things. It's the little things that mean so much. You'll be surprised. It's the little bitty simple things. It's funny little small things that make us smile and make us happy. But we got to learn how to get back into the light. Guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself for me. All right. We are going to exit the building like we came in, like fools. Acting a damn fool. Mari, I'm about to go outside and do donuts.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Y'all ain't feeling me, Mari.
Those donuts.
see now I want a donut.
See there? That's what I'm talking about. Guys, when I leave this here, as we go out, I'm going to leave out with this song. And this song is for my wife, and it's by Kim called Share My Life. Guys, we finna get on up out of here. I am happy. I am so grateful and thankful that I have this beautiful woman to share my life with, to spend time with. And I thank God for every moment that he keeps her and me on the earth together and keep us on this earth. And to all of my team, I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's do this thing again next week. Let's keep giving them love and keep giving them hell.
Damn right.
And we do that with truth. With truth.
Right.
Y'all figure this shit out with Carriera and I before I get up out here. Get that bitch fixed. Get that shit fixed. That just ain't setting well with me. We got to get to the bottom. So I need everybody to try to understand why he's catching hell right now. Because if it's nothing really wasn't just, we got to all, like I said, we came on different ships, but we all in the same boat. And as Martin said, Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, Catholics, blacks, we got to pull together. And we can't take everything too. We've all been through some struggles. We've all been lied to. We've all been used in this place called America. And I'm not mad at you, my Jewish family, because you got your stuff in line and you guys get information. I want my family to get information. I don't have time to focus on what you did or didn't do. I have too much time trying to get my family and our people information as well and help us grow things and create things. The solution is growth and creation. Climb and maintain. Tyler Perry said, climb and maintain. Pray and worship. Get information. Then we don't have time to point fingers. Nobody can take advantage of you when you got your own. Not when you got your own. You don't have anything to say or feel, and none of this will get started. See, Kanye had worked $2 billion, but he was leaning on somebody else's. We know it's true because had it not been true, it would not have been taken away. Like in this way, we'd have to go other routes like protesting or something. So guys, don't forget where you come from. Get information. And every race, every nationality, we in the same boat. We got to heal this country. Somebody sent a missile over into Poland. So somebody's trying to get some other SHIT started. So we better pull together. Our world is in trouble. Our world. Climate change, everything. We in trouble. It's enough for the pettiness. Let's pull together. Ain't gonna take nothing. Y'all have a great night. We're gonna get up out of here.
Capital Jazz, how you doing? Are you all feeling all right tonight? Even with the, I'm standing up here, I'm like,
I feel you.
do we look all right tonight? Does a man look all right tonight? Do I look all right this evening? Thank you. We're very grateful to have an opportunity to be with you tonight, this being the second show. It's a working vacation for us. I know it's a vacation for you. So the ship, it's been good for you, huh? Yeah, that's good. We're having a good time too. Taking a break from working on the new record, Kim Album 3. I know you've been waiting on it for a while. Yeah. We come bearing gifts this evening. I'm going to perform one of the songs off of the new record. It's called Share My Life. Would you like that? Check it out. Makes any difference? I still love you, girl. You're my weakness. Change my world. Share my life. Trust in me. You're all I want. Everything I need. It makes any difference. I give you all my heart. Girl, my sun sets anywhere you are. Maybe I'm a dreamer. You're still my queen. Your love's like a river, girl. It's running right through me. Share my life. You can trust in me. You're all I want, girl. Share my life, girl. You're all I want, babe. Every little thing I need. Share my life, baby. You're all I want, baby. Every little thing I need, girl. I need you in my life, baby. You're all I've ever known, girl. You make me smile with my heart, and I just want to be close to you, baby. Come on into my heart, baby. You can have what you want. See, I'm not afraid anymore. Let the world know how much I need you, girl. You can share my life, girl. Share my life, baby. Come share my life, girl. If you want it, you can have it, baby. Hop on over, baby. I need you in my life, girl. Share my life, baby. You can trust in me, girl. You're all I want, baby. Every little thing, every single little thing I need, girl. Hey. Hey. I know this is a smooth jazz cruise, but hey. Come share my life, girl. Oh. Share my life, babe. 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 Share my life, girl. Share my life, babe. Share my life, babe. Share my life, babe. Share my life, babe. You're all I want, girl. You're all I ever need, girl. You can share my life, girl. All I ever need, babe. Share my life, babe. Yeah. Share my life, baby.
When I think of home, I think of a resting place. A place where there's peace, quiet, and serenity. A journey I'll never forget. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes the tall grass bend into rain, suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a name, sprinkling the sea, makes it all clean. Hey, maybe there's a chance for me to go back Now that I have some direction, it sure would be nice to be back at home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time, come on, be my friend, and let me start again. But you know what? Suddenly my world found and changed its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, yet I watched it growing. And oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Just should we try and
is what you make it. I'm a legend in the making. I know just what I'm made of. Oh, oh, oh. They say life is what you make it, yeah. But I'm a legend in the making, yeah. I know just what I'm made of, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. They say life is what you make it. But I'm a legend in the making. I know just what I'm made of. Oh, oh, oh. They say life is what you make it, yeah. But I'm a legend in the making, yeah. I know just what I'm made of, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. They say life is what you make it. But I'm a legend in the making.